Hi everyone and welcome back to some more MotoGP 20 here on this channel. This is part number 5 of my career walkthrough. Now in today's episode we head to France for this Moto3 Championship race, but before we do that let's have a look at some of the stuff that we've improved. Now we've made another upgrade on the engine and the frame, so things are going well, but we have got a few weeks for both to actually make any benefit for us, so it's not going to be in today's episode. We've also improved our staff and things are coming along really well. We've had 4 wins out of 4, but now I've upped the level to 120% AI. So it's going to get tricky today. It's going to be a lot harder to qualify and probably the race is going to be a lot more competitive. But loads of you in the comments kept on asking, just go up to 120. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get straight into this. What sort of conditions have we got? Oh no! For our first race on 120 AI. And it's going to be wet. That is not going to be good. But it's our first experience, so let's get into the qualifying. So here we go. Right, let's just see if we can get a little bit of slipstream before we start this lap in this development test. We're going to do a couple of quick lap simulations to earn those development points, which is very needed, I think. There's certain things about this bike that do need to be improved, especially the acceleration and top end. Those are two things that I do lack. And the braking as well. I think the brakes on this bike aren't that great, but these are things that are going to come along throughout the career. Let's see if we can just match the times that are being put in. I think they're going to get a lot quicker. Now we're on the hard level, but just remember the race is going to be in wet conditions, and that is going to be our first experience with wet conditions on MotoGP 20. So it's going to be a little bit interesting. We can achieve that. Now we have already put in a couple of laps for our development test, and I have made a few adjustments, and I will show you what I've adjusted, because I promised with any adjustments I make on this career series I'm going to show you what adjustments I've made. Again, a little glitch. I've noticed that it just stops, like a bit of lag or whatever. They do need to fix that, because it's annoying when you're on a corner and it does that, because it really throws you out. Ooh, that wasn't very good to go through there. But we are 0.2 up. Right. The last bend is really, really challenging. And with penalties on, we've got to be very careful that we don't get any penalties. So you have to try and be as smooth as possible. You can take a bit of the curb, but not too much. That is... well, that wasn't too bad. That's exactly how you want to do it. And to the line, and we put in a 145.1, so that is good for the first lap, but we've got to do another one before the end of this test. Right, so that is the test complete, and our fastest time was a 144.8, which isn't too bad. But now I'm going to just quickly run through all the settings on the bike, just to show you all the things I've changed. It was mainly suspension changes, to be honest. The bike was understeering and it was understeering out of the corners as well. I did put to adjust obviously a straight line speed, but then I put it back to normal because it didn't really make a lot of difference. That's going to come as we obviously improve the engine. I'm not going to muck around with the gearing until then, but other than that, those are the settings.
We're back at the circuit for the second qualifying round. The first riders are about to get on the track and battle their way to get the best starting grid positions.
Right, just a piece of advice, guys. If you're going out on a fast lap, try not to have too many slow bikes going around, because that really does muck you up when they suddenly just brake check you on a corner. Right, let's try again. We've only got just over 5 minutes. I haven't set a time yet. At this rate, we're going to be starting in 18th in the wet, which is not going to be great. I want to at least get on the front 2 rows. Wasn't the great through there. All the time's gone a little bit quicker. Massia's put in a 144.2. It's just going to get quicker and quicker. Now, oh, flicking out, we're 0.4 off the time. That's not great. But it's still a little bit cloudy. It's not as warm as it could be, so I'm not sure whether the times are going to get down into the 143s is what I would have expected in perfect conditions. But in the wet, the times are going to be irrelevant. But we still want to get a decent position, because we know the starts are a problem for our bike at this stage. So as long as we aim for at least top 6, and that's not too bad round there. So, like I said, I did adjust the gearing just to give me a little bit of more top end, but it didn't really make that much of a difference, and that's why I just put it back. But I think as we get a little bit more power and the engine gets a little bit better, then we will start seeing improvements when we do adjust the gearing. Because I have fiddled with the gearings on most MotoGP games, but probably more on the faster bikes. And all the time's got even quicker. Dennis has just been a 144.1. Can we match that? Oh, flipping out. Oh, that wasn't great. Oh, lucky you can just get away with going over that curb and to the line. This is going to be good. Oh, that's giving us 4th. So we're going to have to go on another lap. Just faster at sector 3. Brilliant. Is this going to be another awesome qualifying where I just take pole position right at the end? As Dennis' time got even quicker. Right, final bend. Right, slow it down, turn it in, and just... Oh, no! Oh, for God's sake! What happened to my front tyre? It just gave way. Well, I would say that was a bit of a disaster crashing off there when I probably would have had pole position, but 4th isn't bad. But remember, we're racing in the wet. So let's get straight into this and experience the wet on MotoGP 20 for the first time.
For live coverage of the Moto3 race at the Grand Prix of France. After the rain a few hours ago, the skies have finally cleared up, but there hasn't been enough time between the rainfall and the start of the race to let the track dry out. This means that the race has been declared wet, leaving the choice of most suitable tyres to each individual rider. Starting grid where everything seems ready.
Right, let's get straight into the race. Now, it's wet, but it's not raining, so that is a positive. Also, with the tyres, you can't select any other tyre than the medium wet tyre. I've gone with as much fuel as I can take, because I think I'm going to try and use a different tactic, because I reckon I'm going to be a lot slower than the AI in the wet. That's just the feeling. But let's see if we can have a good start and see how this bike performs off the line in the wet. This is going to be interesting. Let's see if we can get a good start. And all systems go for the French GP. That wasn't too bad. How many bikes are going to overtake? And you know what? I'll take that. That wasn't the worst start. And just take a decent line. A little bit of contact there. Just trying to slow it down into that first chicane. And the two teammates have just run into each other. Oh, unbelievable. Well, I'm definitely taking advantage of that. And I'm into P1. He completely lost control and ran straight into his teammate. And just trying to hold it. Got no idea what these conditions are going to be like. A shame we didn't have wet conditions for the qualifying. I would have been able to just gauge what it's like. Because all those setting changes might not make much of a difference. So far, we've managed to hold on to the lead for the first few corners, and just slowly. I'm not going to push it too hard. You saw out how I came off even in the dry in that qualifying session, and how these wet tyres are going to hold up. And we've got someone just behind us, so let's just try and hold a decent position through this sector. We've gone a little bit wider through there. Don't you dare try and overtake there. That is not a good place to overtake. But Dennis doesn't care. And it was Dennis that had the collision. I'm not sure whether it was his fault or his teammate. But he hasn't been affected. And don't forget we've got damage on as well. Has he got any damage? But it doesn't look like his teammate might have some damage. We'll probably see that with the results. And that is nicely done. So that is the first lap out the way. And so far, so good. Let's see if we can just hold on to this lead. See what it's like. That full pelt on the brakes. Let's be careful. Right, slow it down. And just... Ooh, that didn't feel too bad. In fact, that was not bad at all. So, we're still leading. There's a long way to go. We're not pulling away. we've got to try and manage that fuel as best we can in these conditions. I'm guessing that the track is going to start drying up towards the end, so the times are going to get quicker. So that is going to be very interesting to see how that will affect the tyre wear as well. Because that rear tyre still looks cold. Let's slow it down. A little bit hesitant on the brakes there, and that was a little bit wider than I would have liked, but just getting around the bend, and we've got some heat coming behind us now. Going to slipstream us. I don't think I don't have the pace on the straight. No, he's going to back off, and we've got both teammates. So obviously that collision they had hasn't affected them. Right, and we go into this turn, and he's going to make a pole. What the flipping hell, Masia? What was that? Oh, that definitely wasn't my fault. But there you go. You always got one. And that's what I've noticed. The AI do come off pretty easily when they make contact. Lucky he didn't take me out there, but still got his teammates. And it didn't come up any damage for us. Normally it comes up like light damage, I've noticed. So we got away with that one, so we won't complain just at this stage. And Antonelli has got the fastest lap, so we're not running the fastest laps at the moment. Let's just see if we can get through this chicane. Nicely done onto the curb. And that wasn't too bad again. Just slowly getting used to these conditions. But I think these conditions are going to be very tough on the faster bikes. When we get onto Moto 2, it's going to be very interesting. I think there's going to be a hell of a lot of crashes, that's for sure. Right. And he's got some heat now. And I don't think I'm going to be able to hold him off. He's definitely got a faster bike and seems to be a lot quicker than me in the wets. Let's just try and be careful on this turn. I don't want to get run into. I'm trying so hard to take a line where I'm giving him space. So if he's going to overtake, he's going to overtake whether I like it or not. And I don't want him to overtake on this section. Please don't do what your teammate did. Please. If you're going to overtake, go for it. Don't take me out. Take a wider line so he's got room to go through, and there you go. That's what his teammate should have done. But can we get back at him in the next corner? Good on the brakes. No. Flipping out, be careful. Just felt a little bit of a slide there at the rear. And oh, flipping ick! Oh god, we're really struggling in these corners. It's definitely not as quick as these two. That turn, and just try and hold it. Oh, he managed to take one of those places back behind Suzuki and see if we can get a bit of slipstream. And look, Dennis has just put the fastest lap in, and we're almost a second off the pace. So the AI are quick in the wet, so that is an improvement to the game. They're not always quick as we just slip up the inside of Suzuki there. Try and be good on the brakes. See if we can get back at Dennis. Oh, that was nicely done. Not giving up just yet. Let's see if we can fight back. It's just on the straights. We definitely need those engine improvements because we are definitely lacking. Just hold it. Keep it steady. You can just see that parts of the circuit are starting to dry up. Just managed to sort ourselves out, and we need to make sure we don't let any more bikes come past. But there he goes, he's just pulling away now. Now he's got past us. So it's definitely, I think in the next episode I'm going to do more of the development test. I might do all three to make sure I get maximum points. We definitely need to get this engine up to speed, because I reckon once we get to sort of like Mugello with long straights, we're just going to get absolutely slaughtered. So we're just not going to have the pace. Let's just try and hold it this time. Steady, 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 steady. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, for God's sake. I knew that as soon as I hesitated. And we've got ourselves a 0.2 penalty. And that's the first penalty I've received, and you can see the times. Dennis's times got even quicker, so it's definitely drying up. And the times will get a lot quicker, but this is where you've got to be careful, because we're not confident on these sort of tyres, and you don't know how they're going to react in the dry once it gets really dry. We've still got a couple of laps to go, so got a little bit wider in there. Just trying to hold on to second place, but we have got a massive train of bikes behind us. One mistake could cost us a lot of positions. Oh, bloody hell. We've got some heat again. Can we hold them off? That is the thing. And Suzuki is starting to pick up the pace as well. That wasn't too bad. I'll take that. But this is where I lack. And is he going to get my slipstream? He's going to try and overtake. Let's just try and stay on that dry line as much as we can. Let's try and take it a little bit tighter. That's much better. Feeling a little bit more confident through there. Now we've got that dry line. And we can keep it a little bit tight through here. That makes a hell of a difference. Got to keep our lap times up as well as we come to the end, and we've managed to save a lot of fuel as well, so that's going to give us a little bit of a chance. Let's not get a penalty this time. Oh, that glitch again! Do you see that, guys? Oh, so annoying. And that was a better time, and we weren't far away at 1:47.9, so we're not far off the fastest lap, so we have picked it up. But now we're in power 2. Let's see if we can make a surge for that first place. If we can have a really good lap here. I think the tyres look okay. And a second place finish wouldn't be bad. I'll take that all day long. Flipping out, that wasn't the greatest corner, that's not going to help. As soon as you feel a bit of vibration, you think back off the throttle straight away, because you don't want to slide off. And the fact that I had that crash in the qualifying session, it's just confidence, being confident in the bike. And I think crashing, well, I didn't really, in other MotoGP games, especially on the Moto3s, I didn't crash that often. So that is just showing that this game is a little bit different. If you want to push the bikes, even the lower power bikes, they're still going to give way. But that is nicely done in there. Flipping out, be careful. And we have got quite a few riders quite close behind us, which is not... Oh, remember we got that penalty, so we've got to stay ahead by 0.2. That wasn't the greatest final corner. That's not going to help. And Suzuki's going to be in my slipstream. Is he going to take my position? And across the line, I think he's taken it. I think he just nipped me. I think... And yes, he did. Oh, Suzuki, you pain in the arse. But we took third place. It's still a podium finish, and I'm still happy with that. But it's a good learning curve, I think, in those conditions, and there is a few things I would have done different. But anyway, let's get into the final standings. Right, let's have a look at the championship standings, and we have dropped a few points, so the gap is only 29 points now, so we're going to have to make sure that we up our level. Now our team has dropped down to third, so we're going to have to try and improve this bike as quick as possible. I think especially when we've got some circuits with longer straights, that is where we're struggling. I think we're not too bad in the corners, and I think the only reason why I struggled today in the corners was the wet conditions. First experience, I don't think the bike was completely set up for the wet conditions, because we did all our qualifying in the dry, and sometimes you do adjust things differently. So maybe I need to do some wet races, get used to what I need to adjust for the wet conditions, so next time we get the rain, which I think we will get quite a few races in this career in the wet, so it's just, but like again, I will show you those settings as well, but there you go. Anyway, let's get into how many points that we required, and I don't think we did too bad. We did 2 of the development tests, but I think one of them I crashed on, didn't I? Or was that? No, that was a qualifying lap. No, I think I did manage to get them. But yeah, we do need to do that race simulation as well, I think, just to make sure we get maximum points. So yeah, so we will do the race simulation as well next time. But we did get quite a few. So, but that engine needs to be upgraded for sure. Right, so that is the end of the episode, and in the next episode we head to, let's just double check, we go to Mugello. Now that is, like I said, it's going to be tough. Hopefully those upgrades are going to be ready. So I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.